Hello everybody, this is Alex from Hardcore Guides, being my guide for God of War 2 on Titan difficulty. Today we're doing part 9, entitled The Temple of Euryale. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know, that's how I've always pronounced it. I'm not sure if that's even truly how it's supposed to be pronounced. Actually, speaking of pronunciations, recently my brother found out that one of the Linkin Park albums was actually called Meteoria. I think it was actually pronounced. We used to call it Meteora, I think it was. So, yeah. Something I forgot to talk about is I'm not a big fan of the fleece. I'm only a fan of like the projectile thing. So you'll see me block and then not even just like parry or yeah, as I think parrying is actually the retaliation if I'm not mistaken. So you'll see me do that quite often. But yeah, these little buggers, they're a lot stronger than what they used to be. I didn't even realize until now, but this is actually the section when they start getting more tanky for some odd reason or another. I mean, I guess you could say like, well, you know, game is getting adaptive difficulty or whatever, I guess, but I feel like these types of enemies that come from like God of War 1 should at least be within the same realm of like, you know, this relatively close to the same amount of health that they used to have, I would hope, but that's not how what he is. Yeah, even though, once again, you know, the IGN walkthrough, that's where I'm getting all my names for these levels from. Even though they call this place the Temple of Euryale 2, I call it just the Temple of Euryale just because, like, this is the first time we actually go in here, you know. Like, yes, I know, like, once you go to the outside of it, it tells you it, but still. Also, this is a new type of, I think it's a Minotaur. These ones are a bit more obnoxious to deal with. And not only that, but you gotta deal with these guys all around you. So if you have Rage, this is a good time as any just to kind of just use it. Mainly just to wipe out most of the undead soldiers here. Because they're gonna get really, really annoying. There's not too many that spawn, and if you do happen to like get them into the circle prompt, throw them straight at the Minotaur guy, because it does quite a bit of damage. The new Minotaur guys, like the clubbed ones, they're pretty fun to fight. It's just that when you have to deal with multiple enemies at once, they're really annoying. But the trick with them is they have a lot of wind up, and they're pretty susceptible to like getting, you know, attacked from like range and stuff. As in, like, you know, these heavy hitting attacks, like the final triangle move or like the final square move, are pretty good against them because it does quite a bit of damage, and you can kind of like build it up while they're winding up their own attack, or after they finished their attack, I should say. And then after you do a circle move on them, you do get some nice bit of, you know, green health back from them, which is great. But for the most part, I would say use Rage to wipe out as many of the undead as you can, and during that, if you want, you could try to grab the enemies and then do the square grab and throw them at the Minotaur himself. And then if you have to fight the Minotaur by himself, usually I'd say just, you know, run away, wait for a slam attack, and then, you know, again, pop shots. But mostly just like, you know, do some triangle attacks. Get in close with the triangle attacks or get in far. Either way, because it takes a bit to wind up. But again, whatever you feel comfortable with doing, of course. And then, well, yeah, now we have to do another puzzle section, which is not too bad. You pretty much just, you take the elevator down to like halfway-ish, or, you know, just enough to where you can jump out of that fence, that metal grating or whatever. And then behind this door is actually a secret chest. So, yeah, fun. I don't even know if I even know for a fact where all the secret chests are, actually. I don't think I ever found them. I felt like I did for a while, but if God of War 1 is anything to show for in my recent playthrough, just by myself, I found out that I actually missed chests I didn't even know about, so who knows. But yeah, we have a returning fella, and he's going to get more irritating when we have to deal with him and archers at the same time, but that's going to be later. That's going to be toward the Atropos area. I about said norward. I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to mean. It's like a combination of north, or a combination of Norse and Ford. I don't know what the hell I was talking about there, but yeah, we're gonna have to deal with them later. And then speaking of puzzle sections, which most of the temple kind of is anyway, it's mostly like a few arenas here and there, and then like a couple of puzzles, and then you fight the boss. Which the boss is definitely, in my opinion, oh man, I would probably argue maybe she's a little bit less harder than Barbarian, but that's just my own opinion on that one. she is and she isn't. Because, like, I do die to her, but I die to everybody. That's just how it works, you know. Also, be careful not to get snipped by one of these things, because you will fall down, and that sucks. You'll either die or fall down, one of the two, but either way, I don't want to get hit. I'm pretty sure you fall. So, yeah. This puzzle's not too bad. I mean, for a first time, maybe, but it's more intimidating than it really is actually too difficult, because all I do is I just do the roll trick, where I roll, press square at the same time, before he gets up from his roll, and then just continuously do it again. Yeah, we got plenty of time. It might not look like it, but you do. So, there's that. And now we get to actually deal with, of course, the boss fight itself. So, after you read the book, which you have to pretty much activate it, Euryale is going to start off her first phase not too bad. So she does a lot of these sweeping attacks, and if she tries to do that Gorgon stare thing at you, then just block it back and just hit it back at her, because you'll get some magic and do a bit of damage to her. Something that I do a lot is I do triangle, triangle, square. Mainly because, you know, I don't want to go for like the entire plume attack and just be stuck in the end lag of it again. And yeah, if she if you do get stoned, you have plenty of time to get out, but she will go for that swipe attack. Parries, I don't know. I never feel like they do damage, but at the very least, you can block her swipe attack. Now, her headbutt attack though, I don't think you can block it. I think you have to parry it. See, that's the thing though with this game is, sometimes enemy attacks, the ones that, you know, seem like they would be blockable just aren't. Sometimes you have to actually, like, you know, parry them, essentially, or block it at the right time to even do anything with it. So, this little area right here, when she's doing that, you know, beam attack, just, you know, stay away from it, like from the build-up, and then just continuously jump. And then while you're jumping, either do a Bane shot or just do like some just do some attacks while you're in the air, because if you happen to like fall down while she's doing that, you could eventually get stoned and then, you know, instant killed, because you'll probably be in the air, even like a foot off the ground, and you'll still just die. So that's something to be kind of wary of. But one thing you can tell about her health bar is how many pillars are left standing. So she only goes up to like 2 pillars in this entire section. And what I do is I just essentially just do the triangle attacks. And when she goes for a swipe, I just block. And then when she goes for, you know, of course, the stone ability, I just jump, shoot her a few times, you know, rinse, repeat, that type of thing. Euryale is... Did I say she was harder than Barbarian? No, I think Barbarian's harder, honestly. Mainly just because of what she does. It's not that she's not a fun fight or anything. Like, she does give challenge. I do like it. It's not that. It's just, she has a relatively simple pattern, at least in the beginning. It's this next section that gets hard. So when she does these slam attacks, she's going to do them twice. And then sometimes she'll do a headbutt right after. If she does a headbutt right after, good. You can parry that and just hit her back with it. So what I do is I use rage mode to kind of just keep myself from taking too much damage. If she happens to slam me, as you saw right there, I did get hit. But fortunately, while you're in rage mode, you don't retaliate, or not retaliate. You don't when you get hit, you know, you don't get stunned or anything like that. So that's always nice. I got incredibly lucky. So yeah, those magic balls, those Gorgon balls, just dodge them. Don't worry about trying to like parry them or anything like that, because I don't know if you. I'm not really 100% sure if you could. I kept trying to block them, but it just didn't seem to work. So. After a while, she'll eventually give up. If you got rage, like I said, just use it on her. You could use as much magic as you want, because you'll get it back. Not only will you get it back from her, but you'll get infinite magic in this section. So, and of course, this next section is relatively simple and straightforward. You just, you know, stone the enemies to death, and that's pretty much about it. And that practically covers most of the entirety of the Euryale Temple. And speaking of coverage, this is my 3rd video I'm recording in a row. So I want to get these things going again. You know, I really want to get back to the action. And also, my least favorite section of God of War 2 is coming up, so that's great. Anyway, take care, everybody.